All right, this is the X Lives of Wolverine and X Deaths of Wolverine by Marvel Comics. And it's a new hardcover that came out. It's two miniseries that kind of combine together. It's like House of X and Powers of 10 sort of set up. They're doing that again. I don't know what the plan is with that or why they keep doing this kind of thing. But this is it. It's mostly written by Benjamin Percy. Very interesting on that front. And 10 issues total. And that's it. My name is John Delarose. I'm a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator. I've got my indie comics in the description below. I'd love for you to go check those out. If you want to support the channel, that's the best way to do so, is buy the books. And I appreciate everybody who does so. All right. Inside you get this. It's much like all the other hardcovers since the Krakoa era. They all kind of look like this on the inside with the dust jacket. The outside, it's kind of nice. I like the presentation of all these. And basically this continues off after Inferno, which is a Jonathan Hickman event that kind of seals off his run. And beautiful art all the way around. But Omega Red is going back in time, trying to screw with things so that the X-Men can't do their thing. And Wolverine then is like hooked up to Cerebro so he can like enter his body in past times and things like that, and then thwart those issues basically. And that's the X Lives of Wolverine. So you go through all these different time periods where like it's Wolverine's past and all that. So if you know a little bit about Wolverine, there's a lot of callbacks. Like to his original, origin that Paul Jenkins did back in the day, and some other stuff. Then the B story, the side story, and I love this art too. Whoever did this, I don't know who did what. I think it's Federico Vincenti on this storyline, which I really like. This is a vibe that is really cool. It's like one of my favorite styles of modern art. Something about it is just super nice, and I like it. But Moira Taggart is on the run, and basically in Inferno, you know why. So you pretty much have to read that to get this. This is very much a continuation of that. And she's lost her powers, which is to be reborn as a generation. I'm not going to explain all the Krakoa stuff because I will be here all day if I do that. But a lot of lore going on with that. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Again, like, you can't just pick up and read one of these as a new reader. So don't bother unless you've read all that stuff, let's be honest. And she's being chased after by like Mystique, and they're going to try to kill her. And then, of course, we're dealing with the Wolverine on the other front. Now there's just like Omega Wolverine, which has shown up where he's gotten taken over also. I guess he's from the future, and he's a problem. So that's impacting all the past stuff that we see through this. Like I said, the art's really nice. It's a time travel story, so you're going to get a bunch of weird stuff that doesn't feel like it makes sense at points, but it is gripping, and it does kind of work out in the end overall. Eventually, Moira Taggart makes it to Krakoa, and we of course, have our epic battle with Omega Red and the Omega Wolverine, and Wolverine stops all the problems back in time, but still doesn't feel like he's won. He's got a cadre of people called Wolverine now who are young girls. It's kind of odd. I don't know what's going on with the Marvel Universe in that regard, but, whatever. Overall, like, this was pretty fast-paced, and like I said, if you know what's going on, like, Benjamin Percy does a really good job. Like, I've loved his Wolverine stuff up to this point, and this was kind of a nice event regarding that. And this is Moira Taggart's one last life, I guess she's going back to and dealing with, which ties into that whole overall Krakoa Jonathan Hickman verse he kind of set up, which has kind of been lingering for a while and is not resolved. It's a funky situation for the X-Men right now. But they end up like not feeling like heroes, even though they've really done the job. And you see Moira Taggart kind of coming back at the end, and it kind of foreshadows that there's going to be yet another event that sort of ties into this. So, I mean, my main problem is you have to read all that other crap in order to really get what's going on here, and why Omega Red's part of all this also. And I think that Wolverine in hardcover, they haven't done all the issues yet, so this is skipping a few issues, which is kind of annoying. But that's where it's at, and that's what they do. Everything ties into everything in that whole Krakoa thing. It's a pain to read. Now, if you've read like the main events of it, and you've read Wolverine, you'll get this pretty well. That's all you pretty much need. But and it as a story in itself, because with that as a background, and you know that background, it's pretty good overall. A lot of fun, good time travel elements. I like what they're doing with Wolverine. I enjoyed the whole conflict and everything. Enjoyed the art all the way around. This is like, they did pretty good. I just like wish they'd make it a little less convoluted on the. This is the X-Men though. They always make it convoluted like that, don't they? So you get what you expect with the X-Men, I guess. So overall, I'd call it like a 7.5 out of 10 because again, it really relies on that whole foundation that you have to read all that lore in order to get this, and that's just too much, I think, for a story. I think a story should really work by itself. But overall, if you do know that lore, it is good, is worth the read, and it's probably one of the better reads I've seen out of this whole Hickman era of X-Men, to be honest. So that's it. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.